Hey guys, welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome. Today we're going back together with the NP205, or at least partially. I don't know, we're gonna see how far we get. We have the initial stages of what we're gonna do over here to the side, just so it's handy. We got all our bearings and seals and gaskets and hoopla. And I'm gonna try and do my best to show you every single step as detailed as I can. Some stuff maybe not as much. Most, as you can tell, if you've watched the disassembly, we got it painted. It's just some Rust-Oleum black. We don't care. It's going to be underneath. If someone's judging us, well, they can come paint it. We've got other parts over here off to the side that, while I'm doing a lot of this, Matt's gonna clean ahead of me if I remember which pieces I need. If not, then we'll have to take itty bitty breaks and clean it and then show you the rest of it.
But you won't know.
Yeah. Like I said, we're gonna start with, or we're gonna get as far as we can today. This may end up being a two-part reassembly. So sit back, relax, grab you a snack and a drink,
and enjoy the show.
Yep. So we're gonna get repositioned and get started. Okay guys, so we're gonna start with our shift fork seals. And I'm going to take just a shade of Permatex, RTV, whatever you wanna call it, or whichever brand you wanna buy. And I'm gonna put it around the edge of the seal just for a little extra security. Before I drive them in. Nothing should get around them.
That's why they're seals.
I mean, it'll help them stay a little better maybe. Or maybe I've been doing this wrong for a lot of years.
Oh, it's live.
Either way, that's how I do it. You do it your way if you don't like it. Now I gotta find a rack. Oh, look at that. And it's green. Okay, so I got a fancy set of seal drivers from Amazon for like 50 bucks, and it's got a whole bunch of them in it. But put it in, center it up, drive it in. Let it bottom out. Make sure you drive it square. If anybody's curious at why I hit with the side of the hammer instead of the head, I've hit my hand too much, and I find I don't hit myself nearly as much doing it that way. All right. Wipe off my excess RTV. Listen to the birds squawk. All right. Before I move on to the next piece, I've got some high-speed lube guard assembly goo.
They can't see it.
It looks like that. All right, so I'm just gonna get a little bit here and lube the seal. Good practice to lube up your seals and stuff before you shove anything through them. And then when we put the shift rods through, well, I'll lube the rods too. I hear you guys, I hear you. It didn't sound right. Trust me. I'd say something else, but it'd sound even worse. So we're just gonna move along. All right, they're all lubed up. Loobity doobity. All right. Let me get repositioned and we will hop to the next thing. All right, guys. So now we're going to put our seals in our input and output shaft. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. Nothing's changing, just a bigger seal. If you don't have a seal driver kit, a piece of brass, if you have it, a punch, an old bearing race, anything you can pretty much get on there and not destroy what you're putting in will work. I just happen to be fortunate enough to have bought the seal driver kit, and I lost my rag again.
No, you didn't.
Oh, there it is, see? You got a mystery hand. Alrighty. We're gonna try and do it on here. I may have to take it over to the welding table. We're going till they're flush. All right, now I got them in just like before. If I can get this cap on. I'm gonna give it a little bit of lube. And this will all dissolve into the oil. No big deal. All this is doing is protecting this stuff during initial use. Probably the first 5-10 miles down the road at max. Other than that, it's going to be earled up. And all right, give me a second. I'll get the output shaft over here and we'll go to putting that together. All right, guys, so we're starting to assemble our output shaft assembly. Some kits come with roller bearings that go back in here in this race. Ours, however, come with a whole new setup. So for us, we're going to drive this out and drive this one in. So, abracadabra. And where's my bearing? Let me see my bearing.
I think it actually might be this one.
They are the same size. This is what we're going to use. Yep. Hydrate. Or as we was told in the Army, hydrate or die. Sure. That'll work. And I promise, just because I say sure doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to do a test fit. Yep. Put my hand in the wrong spot. Okay, well, so that's how you put that on. Anytime you put in a bearing or anything, give it some love and
Lots of grease.
it ain't got to be a lot. You're just, again, you're coating it.
Lube her up.
Watch your finger. Just enough so it doesn't start dry. All right.
Oh, freaking.
That's a whole lot easier than having to worry about them needle bearings falling out on you. All right. I'm gonna wipe this out a little bit. Oh God. That might have, oh, there we go. Yeah. Say that might have been a little much, but ooh, that'd be all right. Those just index it. Alrighty, now speedo gear goes in, or speedo drive, sensor gear thing. Has a proper name. This is where your speedometer hooks up.
About that size.
Alright, good and tight's all it needs.
It is a 15/16.
Alright, now we got a high-speed bearing. I think this is the right one. Yep, that's it. Right here. I'm using all the old snap rings and whatnot. Our kit come with like one new one. And I guess that's fine. Ours are all in good shape, so it don't really matter. So all I'm gonna do is slide it on like so.
You gonna pack with bearing grease?
Nope. You could use a massive socket. You just want to be on the outside of this edge or on this very inner edge. On the very inner edge is a bad idea, in my opinion, because you don't want to mess up your splines. So you want to go here, and you're going down just till that snap ring touches. And then that's perfect. This punch is like 9 miles too long, so it's perfect. You're good. These want to go in, so it don't take a lot of force. Now I'm going to get in my little handy dandy bag here. Open this up and find me a gasket. How big of a mess can we make looking for said gasket? Well, it's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. I think it's this one. Nope. 2, 4, 5 holes. That one's only got 4. That one's got 4. That one's got 5. Alright. Alright, so what I'm gonna do first is check this on this. Okay. My gasket fits this fine. It's not gonna catch any oil or whatever. Goes on just like that. So instead of putting it on both sides of the gasket, which is a little more difficult, something on this. You don't have to go crazy with this stuff. Just enough to make it ooey gooey sticky and get all over you. All right, about like that.
Do we want to clean these up?
In case you're wondering, Matt was asking if I wanted to clean the bolts up. This is an off-road vehicle. We ain't going to shining shows and all that. We're going to the Ozark National Forest and what's the other one? The Ouachita
Ouachita, yep.
National Forest and
Kaiser.
yeah, all kinds of crazy names. It'll be covered in mud, and I'm sure I'm gonna tear something up, so probably oil and grease again, so, you know. We'll wipe them down, make them look halfway decent. Whoever was in this before, factory or whomever, turned the bolts red. And that ain't red Loctite, it looks like RTV. Breather would be up, drain hole down. Now this is just the orange Loctite. It's just gonna help a little bit. It's an off-road rig, it's gonna vibrate.
A lot.
It's gonna get the crap beat out of it, so a little something to help it. Can't hurt. Everything turns good. All right, our yoke.
You want to do the yoke now?
No.
Okay.
I was trying to think of the word so I could tell them. I'm going to wait to put my yokes on until I have it all together and we have a whole lot more to hold on to, because they torque down at something ungodly to try and hold by hand like this. May even wait until I get them in, but we'll put them on and I'll tell you the torque spec at the end. So now we're going to move to the next step. So give me a second to get repositioned and we'll get her. Okay guys, so before I show you this next part, the guy I watched for my refresher course, or whatever you want to call it, was Jeb Built, and it's spelled G-E-B Built. He has a great video, hopefully not as good as mine, but you know, so you don't want to go check it out. But he's the one I watched to just remember what I was doing, make sure if I was second guessing myself, he was the one I referred back to. This next part is the most difficult. Matt, you want to shine a light down in there? All right, you see this clip. You see this cattywampus washer here. What you're gonna do is hook it, pull it all the way up, pack that full of petroleum jelly like he used, or yeah, there you go, you can see it, or this goo I got. You're gonna pack it full, then these 15, you should have 15 needle bearings that look like this, and you're gonna pack them in there underneath that washer, and you're gonna have to use a pick. And if you get lucky, you can pack it full, and that grease or whatever you use to hold it will actually hold this up, and then you just shove them in there tightly. And this is something I'm not going to be able to show you until I'm done. It's just something I'm going to have to describe like I just did, do it, and give you some tips. One of the things, like I said, is packing that cavity full of your assembly lube or whatever you use, and then getting some on your finger, and as you can see, it will kind of hold them there. In my opinion, laying it on its side is the best way, because then you can spin it and feed them in, and you're not trying to reach down in there and have them drop down deeper into it, and then you're fighting it with a magnet, and it's a whole deal. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll come back to you and show you that it's done. All right.
No, we're not. We're gonna watch him struggle.
Okay. There's that. Now that that finger's all gooey, I'm gonna wipe it off and use my long finger. Well, luckily, I mean, although, no, that won't work. I thought maybe it might come in handy. All right. Okay. That finger isn't gonna work. The other finger gets in the way. Sure, they'll straighten out as they go. Fighting in snot. Sure. You know, on second thought, this would be a good learning experience for you.
You're already in there. You're already knuckle deep.
Couple of them. But the way I'm doing it, with all this extra goop on it, they're actually going in pretty easy.
They're gonna stay, by God.
The last couple will be
The hardest.
yeah, because they'll try and push the others out and stuff. Don't worry, there's tons of room for all of them. Feel like a proctologist.
Last couple. Well, last several.
I'm gonna say, oh yeah, I can start to feel the other side.
The nose always itches.
Always. Oh, your hands are nasty?
Perfect.
Guess what?
Oh wait, I found one more.
Well, I'm happy for you. 'Cause I don't think one more is gonna go. Okay guys, so I got my idler gear over here. It's got the old races still in it. So I'm gonna drive them out and then we'll drive the new ones in and start setting this all up to go in. Because we are done with the output shaft right now. So, all right, I'm gonna have to move somewhere where I got a hole. All right, got my new race ready to go in. I got me a seal driver that's the same size. So now we're gonna put it in. Sounded like it bottomed out, but we're gonna hit it a few more times to make sure. Or one. Flip it over, look inside. I know y'all can't see, but it is bottomed out. Pinch the crap out of my fingers. Don't do what I've done in the past and accidentally put them in upside down. Now I gotta check this one. Yep, okay. It sounds stupid, but you get in a hurry. You're not paying attention. You do dumb stuff. All right, side number 2. Sounds solid. Okay, why we're here. I want to address something that I found with our NP205 versus Jeb Builds. When he does his, he had shims that go in here, and I'll talk about it a little more over there. Ours didn't have them. Didn't have them when we took it apart. The new kit specifically for this one didn't come with it. I'll show you where they go here in a minute, but if you have them, it should be 2 per side, or 2 per bearing, and that's gonna help set up your preload. Again, ours didn't come with it, and so we're not gonna put any back in it. So let's move from the welding table back over to the toolbox, and I'll show you how to put all this together. All right, guys. So next we're gonna do the center portion. That was the last piece to come out. It's the first piece to go in. No duh, right? All right, so piece of cardboard to cover the hole is all you're doing. You want to set your bearing in there. All right, now if you had the shims, they would sit right here. Okay? We don't have shims. Our kit didn't come with it. Sorry about putting my hand in your face. Yeah, ours didn't come with the shims, so we're not putting shims back in. I've looked all over, reviewed video, no shims. So, next piece is your gears. Just slide them on down in there. Ow, pinch your finger. There we go. All right. Your sleeve, you're gonna balance that kind of directly over that hole, best you can. Some of it is self-align. Then if you had the shims again, they would sit here on top. Then your bearing would go in. Kind of poke around in here with my finger and get it kind of lined up. All right, so now, very, very carefully and not very skillfully, I am going to slide this whole contraption over here and line it up. Oh gosh. It's kind of tight with that cardboard. There it goes. Fish that out. Hang on, let's make sure we got her lined up. All right, that looks good enough. Goes in like that. Now, there it is, that's lined up. And we're gonna walk it back here so you can see what's going on. You can call them love taps, you can call it persuasion. Regardless, you're gonna hit the end of that until it's flush. One more.
Nope, didn't do anything. There.
Okay, now you have a cover and some bolts that go here, and somewhere around here, laying over there, I have a washer and a nut that goes on this side.
All right, guys. I get to do something. RTV on the gasket.
Both sides.
Both sides of the gasket or one on the...
Yeah, just put it on both sides of the gasket, it'll be fine.
Oh, you're gonna make it hard because you just said a minute ago it's harder when you put it on both sides of the gasket.
No. I didn't say that. And if I did, I'm not owning it. Well, see, you put it on one side of the gasket, not both pieces of metal.
Get the gasket all lined up. Now, when we go to put this on, there's only, it's a triangle, but this flat spot on your plate has to go towards that left-hand side. They're sufficiently squished.
Yeah, those are actually like 18 to 20 foot-pound.
Yeah, about what that thing does.
If you're worried about that kind of thing. All right, washer.
Wash what?
All right, so the washer, bolt naturally. All right, now for the fun part. Matt's gonna hold it, and I'm gonna torque, no. I'll scoot it closer to you. But we're gonna torque this bad mamma jamma. It's a 1 5/16", I think, or what we're using is a 3/4 inch drive 34 millimeter.
And it's torqued to
120. Okay, you're right. All right, guys, so we're gonna put the, I just drew a blank. We're gonna put these in, and that's what we're gonna call them for right now because I can't think of it. They go one in here, and you're gonna push it all the way through. Yeah, my hand's gonna be in the way. Sorry, not sorry. I'm cheating. I'm using a pick. You want to push them to where they're barely poking out each side. 90 weight or assembly lube, something to slicken them up. All right, top one. Same thing. What's the other side look like?
Yep.
All right.
We're close.
It'd be good enough for right now. All right, guys, so now we're moving on to bigger and better things. So we're doing the twin stick modification. So it's going to be a little bit different. Well, our bars are going to look different. Your long bar shift fork, there we go, goes in the short side.
Like height-wise, short.
Yeah, short as in height. So we've already pre-lubed our seals. If you want, you can put a little bit of lube on your shafts. You're going to take your shift fork, long side facing you. Start your fork with the detent notches up. Yeah, I'm going to reach in here. And then you're going to reach in here as soon as you get done beating your elbow on everything on your table, because, you know, you put everything absolutely in the wrong place, because otherwise it wouldn't be a project. All right, I digress. Hand goes in, bar, roll pin hole and detents facing up. Now I could make this easier and have Matt hold it in here and do all that good jazz, but you know, what fun would that be? All right, you're gonna push it in till your handy dandy roll pin hole lines up, and I'm short and blind. Hey, there's my helper stool. There's my shift fork and my roll pin. You remember them roll pins? They're god awful. I'm good. All right. Now we're going to start assembling this. So give me a second and we'll get it set up. All right, guys. So to keep you thoroughly confused, we're going to switch from one side to the other. Sorry. Just the way things work. We're going to put our bearing on. Then you got the thick little snap ring that is god awful, especially if you're like me and you don't have the right snap ring pliers with you. But you're going to put that down until it snaps in and retains the bearing. Sorry for all the uhs.
And here comes the struggle bus.
Yep, struggle bus 1000.
And snap.
There it is. Oh my God.
Oh, snap.
Okay, now that we've done that, I'm going to hand this off to Matt, and he is going to stick it through this hole. All right, now, dead blow. Give it some love. And then, oh, too far. All right. We got it through to where the snap ring is showing. I don't know if you can see that or not. So we're going to put this snap ring on it. Maybe. Oh. Try not to shove our shaft back through. All right. And We're gonna give it a love tap with this. All right, it's seated, and we will get ready and start putting together the rest of it. Okay guys, so now we're gonna put the other shift fork in along with the synchro and the shift, well, the shift fork and the shift bar in. So slide that in there and set it up on it.
There you go.
Got it. All right, again, detents up. Yeah. And we're already pre-lubed, so do the same thing as before. Try and get some light in there. Can't see nothing. But you want to push it into your roll pin lines up, and then we're going to work on beating in the roll pins and capping them, and then we'll finish setting this up. Now this is going to bounce around on you, so just know that going in. You're going to have to mess with it several times by the time you get the roll pin in and whatnot. So let's do that. All right guys, so now that I'm on my tall guy stool, which is a milk crate that I'm falling through. So the idea I'm using is I took a screwdriver, ground it down, put it in there, because these can be a booger to line up, especially this side. So we're going to start on the easy side and show you how to do it there. And I'm going to do this off camera because cussing and swearing is not okay on YouTube. Get all your holes lined up. Again, this is the easier side because it's closer to you.
And the sinker mesher thingy is not attached.
Yeah. Twist. We're going to drive these flush. That sounds about flush. And it is. Okay, so we're going to do the other side. We'll wait to put the plugs in later. All right, guys. So to do a complete full rebuild, you have to take apart stuff that really sucks. And this is that part.
This is the front output shaft.
Yes. This is your front output shaft, and this washer here that doesn't come off. Oh man. There are needle bearings, and they're little bitty. Let me show you one, if I can get my hands on them. They're these guys. And they go right here. And then this comes down, and then another row goes right there. And then this gear mat's going to show you is going to go just like that down over it.
Just like this, just the shinker mesh down.
No. And then for more fun,
For more fun,
this piece comes on, and it's got a little bitty hole to line up with this little bitty pin. And then this god-awful thing goes on. My bad. And then your cover plate.
which we still have to put the race in.
We still got to put the bearing thing in it. But we'll go like this. And again, this is more stuff YouTube will not allow me to show you because I'm going to cuss and scream and holler and cry like a little 2-year-old through the whole thing. So we're going to do that off camera.
We're going to get this rebuilt, and we'll be back to show you how to get it in.
Yeah, then we'll show you how to put it in. All right, guys. It's been a long day, and I don't feel like fighting for 2 hours with the wrong snap ring pliers. So we're going to call it for today, and next time out here, I will bring the correct snap ring pliers, and we will finish this up. So unfortunately, this is turning into a 2-part series of the reassembly. I apologize. Hopefully next week, well, guaranteed next week, this will be put together. So I think that's going to do it for us today. And we will see you guys next week.
Thanks for watching part 1. Look out for part 2.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, and share.
All right. Bye, guys.